Hoorah! So I'm done with all the Quake amusements and I figured I'd try out Java this time. But a few things that we probably should ask first. Why programming? Because programming is fun! Fun for the whole family! You should wonder why they haven't come out with a programming board game yet. With the tone of trying new things, I figured I would try out creating a video game from scratch. Why not? I mean, it doesn't have to be some crazy modern Battlefield thing or whatever. But it could be just a very simple game that you could download off of either Steam, you could just play it on the website, whatever. I figure one of the easiest languages to work with in just picking and go is Java. Why Java? Because Java is delicious. There's a few games out there, little things that you would download off the web. The big one I'm sure a lot of you would identify with is Minecraft. Hurrah for building blocks! What I think was mostly important is just you have a good idea, you go with it, and it doesn't really matter what the programming language is. Well, it kind of does. Just don't let it go to your head. I think it's called scope creep. Just make sure that you stick to the plan and knock it out. So I'm not going to ramble about the actual ideas. They're simple and I think they could work. But first things first, we need to figure out what we're doing with Java. So come on, let's go take a look.
Come on, what are you waiting for?
Just to start the series out, I'm not really going to go into anything complex. It's mostly because I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm really starting with the basics myself, so from week to week I will learn what I can, and I will present whatever I learned in the following week. With the goal in mind to create some kind of fancy schmancy game I can sell for Google bucks. Then I might be able to afford a cameraman. First things first, let me shrink myself and move myself to the corner. Alright, to get started with this kind of thing, all we really need is the JDK and the other one, the JRE. And all this is just go to the Java website and grab some stuff. So, let's go take a look. So you just go on Google, you type Java, and the very first thing you got here is this java.com thing, and it gives you a free download. It's neat. And really just grab that. And you go through the ringer, you download that, you install it. I'm not going to go through that particular install, but all it really is just pay attention when installing it. Make sure the box is unchecked for giving you ask.com toolbars. Unless you really want that. And I know you do! Next thing we're going to want is the Java JDK. What is this? Yeah, we just want the Java JDK. You click that to go down here. And what we're looking for is the development kit, which is this thing. And you just download the proper one for whatever you're using. If you're not using a 64-bit version of Windows, then you download this version right here. And if you're using a 64-bit version of Windows, then you download this one here. And I immediately went to Windows, assuming you're not using any of the rest of these things. Though I know you're all using Linux, because everyone uses Linux. Same gobbledygook, you just go through that, install it, next, finish, and that's about it. I really didn't notice anything off the wall when installing this one. After you're done, you may or may not have to restart, but that's pretty much all you gotta work with. Alright, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create a working directory on our C drive. It can be wherever you really want this. I just want it easily accessed, and I'll show you in a second why I'm putting it right here. Create a new folder. We're gonna call this one Stuffage. And in there, we're going to go ahead and create our new text document. And we're going to name this and get rid of the .text on it. And this is just a regular notepad text. Don't go to Word or any of that other jazz. Just go to Notepad and create a new one. You can call it whatever you want. We're going to call this one Hoovers.java. Java. That's it. Close this one. We're going to open that up with Notepad. Now there are other programs that format all this and make it look real nice, but really all we need is Notepad, so that's what we're going to use for this first video. If you'd like, I can show you how to use Eclipse in the next one, which has all sorts of fancy stuff in it. So we'll stick with this just for the basics for now. Now, next thing we're going to do, just to show you where the actual compiler is, it's comically simple. Just go to Start and Run, and we're going to type in CMD. Okay, then we have our command window up. What you're going to do is type cd, which is change directory, C:\, backslash, and then our directory, which is, what do we call that? Stuffage. There you go, cd space C:\, stuffage. And that just gets us in that folder. So when we're messing around with stuff, we have it in there. That's pretty much it. I mean, the actual command is javac or jvac, and then space, and then stuffage. No, it's not. No. Hoopers.java. And that's it. So once we were ready to render this thing, we just hit enter on that. And there's nothing in there, so when we press enter, it doesn't do anything. I mean, it thinks it's perfect because, hey, there's nothing in there. It can't find any fault with that. But what we're really doing is we're going to write a very, very simple little piece of code. All right? Okay, so then we're going to do public class hoopers. And I tend to like to do my brackets like this, just so I can, you can really put those wherever you want, but just make sure that you have brackets, curly brackets after the name of the class here, and then you put all your gobbledygook in between those two. Java doesn't seem to really care about spacing. Like, you can just press space a billion times and it really won't matter. It's just going to go to the next line, so don't worry about that. But it is highly case sensitive, so you need to make sure whatever's capital is lowercase, lowercase, and if you get it mixed up, it'll have a fit. Like if I do something class capital P, that's different. That's totally different. That's a different thing. It will not understand the two for whatever reason. So just keep your cases correct and go from there. Alright, next thing we're going to do is going to tab over just to make it look clean and simple. And we're going to type in public static void main capital string. Then we're going to put the boxy brackets args. Then we're going to put another couple curly brackets. And this is just setting up the framework for what we're actually going to be doing. Now, I really don't understand fully what public static void main string arguments is, but that's the main meat and potatoes of what runs. Whatever you're throwing in there is going to get ran. So if you're accessing stuff to other files to do whatever, like if it's a game you want something to jump, play a sound effect, do whatever, it needs to be called from there, it seems. It could be written somewhere else, but it needs to be accessed from this, I think. We'll clarify that later on, maybe, if I feel like it. Right now, all we're going to do is we're going to have it say something to the screen, and that is system.out.println, and we put whatever we want in between these quotes and semicolon. Let's say, hello, you silly sausage. Yes. There you go. And then you save it, and that's it. So the whole meat and potatoes of this thing is this. Let's see if it actually runs. Sure it did. At least it didn't crash on us or anything. And down here you see it created, not from our poopers.java, it created poopers.class. Class is what we wanted, and that's what we need to run this thing. So to actually run it, we type in java space poopers. And there we go. It says, hello, you silly sausage. So this here, this ended up being this right here, some text up there. I mean, not much, but, you know, that's basically what we did. We wrote something basic in Java and output it to that. Yeah, that's really all I was going to go over this week. I want to keep it very, very simple from week to week. Next week we'll try to get into probably something about getting into the Eclipse program, so it looks a lot nicer messing around with the code. And we'll get into something a little bit more important. I'm actually going to be following along with one of the latest versions of Java for Dummies, because why not? And we're going to learn basic Java first, and I'm just going to skim most of it and nutshell it for you in each video, whatever I learn. Keep it as simple as I can. I'm trying to keep this simple because, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have like about this much interest in programming. And after we're done with all the basic stuff, then we'll get into more gaming elements. And I'll mention something that if it has anything to do with gaming elements, then we'll leave me alone! So, I'll see you next week.